Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This has been a while since I've done an actual scary story because, as you know, I've done Trolled, I've done just a lot of stuff in general, and what I'm trying to do is just make different content because I want to make a balance of things on this channel, not just one thing. I'll be honest, I don't think that makes much sense, but I'm trying. So today I was going to do the Ben Drown Creepypasta because it is a scary story. It's a bit old, guaranteed, but it still kind of holds up in an old nostalgic sort of way, and I know that's a bit of a bad reason to, put that on my channel, but I've seen a couple of other videos before about it, so I thought may as well, and because that is kind of the focus of my channel, I decided I'd do it. So here it is, Ben Drown. I don't really know what else to say, but I'm gonna let story me do the rest, and yeah, enjoy everyone. The story starts off as follows, with the main protagonist, known as Traducible, stating that his friend gave him his N64, and naturally he could relive all of his old games that he wanted to play on that, and, get some nostalgia out of it. So, one day, after getting bored of playing Smash Bros. For the N64, decides to go to a garage sale and buy himself some more games, and he came across some pretty good stuff. He got himself another controller, a couple other games, and that was about it. And he was about to leave until he saw one more garage sale, and he had a bad feeling about it at first, because he even knew, he said that in the story that he didn't really want to go to another one, but he said, like, what the hell, basically, I'll just go check it out. So he does, and he goes to this other garage sale, and as he does, there was no man there, and he basically said, like, do you want anything? And he said, do you have any video games? And as soon as Traducible asked that, he's like, what video games? And he just walks away, and he goes into like the back or something to pick up some things, and he's looking around. He finds some ink blots at first, they're not very interesting, but then the old man comes back and is like, oh, I've got something you might want, and he pulls out a cartridge, and it says on the label Majora, which at first didn't ring a bell until he realized it meant, oh, must be that for Majora's Mask, the Legends of Zelda game. So he says, I'll buy it, and he says you can have it for free, and he takes the old man up on that deal, and he leaves. And as he's leaving, he hears the man say goodbye then, and when he gets home, he is obviously immediately wanting to play The Legends of Zelda Majora's Mask, so that's the first game he plays, and as soon as he boots it up, he sees there are two save files. The first one being, the first save file was just blank, and then the second one was just simply titled Ben. Now, at first he doesn't think anything of that, other than, the guy that played it must have been called Ben, and the guy shouting at the end must have been the guy saying goodbye Ben instead of goodbye then. So he figures that out. He's like, okay, whatever, at least I can play the game and, maybe complete the game in this person's honor. So he does, he plays the game through a bit, and eventually, after a while, the NPCs in the game keep calling him Ben. They don't call him by his save file name, which was Link. So what he does is he decides to delete the save file, thinking that would solve the problem, and it kind of did, and it kind of didn't. Basically, instead of saying Ben or Link, the NPCs would now just say nothing in the space of where his name would be. And eventually, he just got sick of it, and he quit playing for a bit, and it was after that that he just decided he wasn't going to play anymore and give it a break, as I said. And so eventually on the next day, he plays again. Now, for those that don't know or have never played Majora's Mask, I may have forgot to mention this, there are only 3 days until you can actually do the task you do. Now, you can reset the 3 days by getting one of the key themes for the ocarina, and once you obtain that, you keep doing that, you have to obviously continue doing all the things you need to until you get to the end, which is the boss battle with Skull Kid. Now, as I said, because you only have 3 days, you have to not hurry in a way, but you have to complete the game within that time frame, right? But there's a glitch rather that you can perform in the game, and it's called the 4th day glitch. Basically, it allows you to have one more day continuing whatever it is you need to do, and it's pretty easy to do, really. All you need to do is go to the not the clock tower, but the room with the big telescope, and once you go in there, you basically just go up to the telescope, look at the moon at the very last second, and you'll be granted one last day, and that's how it works. And basically, Deducible then attempted to do the 4th day glitch, and he was then teleported to the part where eventually you have to obtain the ocarina back from Skull Kid because he stole it for you. And as I said, he's at that part, and the entire arena is empty. Like, there's no assets on there or anything. It's completely empty, and Skull Kid didn't even say anything. Like, he was just floating above the platform, and his AI was just not working as it usually would. So, eventually, after standing there for a bit, he goes around and he tries to attack Skull Kid, and he gets his bow and proceeds to fire on him. And instead of that doing really anything at all, Skull Kid then lifts him up, and Link then combusts into flames. And this goes on for a pretty big period. It's basically just him getting combusted into flames quite a lot. And that's when he decides he's going to record this, and that's what he decides to do anyway. He basically hooks the N64 up to his computer and records everything off there. Now, you can probably see all the clips in the background here that I'm using, and all credit goes to Deducible, by the way. I don't want to get copyrighted for this, but yeah, all credit goes to him. And yeah, as I said, here are some of the clips. Now, I'm not going to really talk through any of these. I'm just going to let you guys look through some of them, and I'll get back to you just after. And like I said, that's basically what happens, with Ben in those clips. He's basically doing a lot of things, manipulating the game as well to work for him, and that's what Deducible even states happens, like on his blog post that he creates as well. And eventually, he goes to look for some advice, like, how can I fix this? Like, what can I do? And he finds Cleverbot, and Ben unknowingly found his way to that as well, and decides to chat to Deducible using that engine. So Ben keeps talking to Deducible, but with really cryptic questions and answers. Almost like he's kind of toying with him in a way. And eventually he just goes dark, like Deducible just goes dark, like there's nothing else from him. And that's really it from the story. Really, there's nothing else to say about it, but I do want to say thank you to all you guys that are subscribed real quick. I really appreciate it as well. And honestly, the fact that you do want to see some of my content is somewhat good for me, because I know you like it that way, and I know that I can upload more. Well, I try to anyway. Sometimes I just lack of motivation and all that stuff, but as I said, I do try. But thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate it. And this video is a long one. It's like 30 minutes long, so yeah. But thanks for watching, guys. I've got many more stories planned, and if you do want to see those, be sure to subscribe, obviously, because you don't want to miss them. But thanks for watching, as I say again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.